recording. Okay. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order Tuesday, January 18th at about 7:09. Sorry about me losing my internet connection there for a second. We do have a quorum now, and I would like to start with the minutes. We had Carrie distributed the minutes from the November 16th, 2021 and the December 21st, 2021 board meeting minutes. Is there any discussion or questions or comments on either set of minutes? Okay, hearing none, I make a motion to accept both the November and December 2021 meeting minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mark second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and none opposed. All right, so we have the minutes are approved. So Courtney, if you want to just go ahead and start with the discussion of the retirement plan.
Sure. So I got a notification from Mid-Hudson that basically says there's a new law that requires private businesses and nonprofits with 10 or more employees to provide retirement options to their employees. So we have more than 10 employees. So this applies to us, and it does apply to part-time people. I asked if it was just full-time or part-time, and it covers part-time too. So I'd like to add basically to our employee handbook that we offer this. We're not required to match employee contributions. So I guess this is something that the state did to try and increase the number of people that have a retirement savings. So it doesn't really require anything from us budget-wise. It's just I'd like to add it to the employee handbook. It's not, the program isn't open for enrollment yet, but when it does open, we have 9 months to join it. So I thought it'd be easier just to add it to the handbook now and not have to vote on it later and just get it done and out of the way. So just to go over it, this applies to all full-time and part-time employees over the age of 18. We already have TIAA CREF for full-time employees. So this would be put in place for 7 employees, basically the clerks. And like I said, we don't need to match our contributions, so it doesn't really affect our budget this year.
Okay. And could you review
Hey,
it?
did you have a, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, if it made, if you had a chance to review it to see this open enrollment, if it makes sense for full-time staff.
I think what we have in place now is better, but I'll
Oh.
definitely look.
Okay, that's all I had.
What, I don't, if we're not putting money into it, where's the money come from? They just put their own money in it?
Yeah, they can choose to take the money out of their paychecks and put it in there.
An elective program.
Yeah, so everybody is automatically enrolled, but people can opt out.
Great idea if you're young and living at home and you're saving money. That if Benjamin Franklin is correct, by compound interest, it'd be worth a lot of money when you retire, relative to us old folks putting money in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the idea is that you just like tell people, look, you should do this. I mean, okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's basically when the program becomes available, we will offer it. People can choose to do it. They can choose to not do it, and we don't match anything.
I think it's a good idea, and I think your point about it being probably just a bureaucratic nudge to help people start their retirement or contribute to it, who normally might not if they're on half-time or gig positions that don't offer benefits like that automatically. And so I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Should we make a motion on it?
Yeah. I would make a motion to approve the plan for the retirement as Courtney described when it becomes available. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, that is approved.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Aye, Michael.
Michael, thank you.
And
Those are the, oh, sorry, go ahead, Kay.
I have a question,
just,
do we
one other-
want to,
sorry.
Do we want to consider matching? Anything?
I mean,
I wouldn't say for part-time.
How
Yeah,
about
no,
full
it's fine. We just approved our budget.
so
So,
about-
full-time is already matched up to 5% of I think I can, yeah, up to 5%.
Good, that's good. Okay, good. Excellent.
Jody, I have a quick question for you. Did you hear from Megan or from Kim?
Kim, I heard that she was not able to attend. I didn't hear from
Okay.
Megan.
Okay, thank you.
could we just approve the bills before Michael
Oh,
goes?
that's right. Thank you, Mark. Yes.
If everyone's had a moment to review the bills for December 20th and January 6th.
Mhm.
I just had two questions on, one on the 20th. I didn't know what the MSA group was
Let me MSA group.
for 475.
And is the second one the AWE Acquisition Inc.?
Yes.
Courtney, she bought a bunch of tablets with the grant.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the tablets.
Okay, good.
So let me pull up the MSA one because off the top of my head,
MSA.
Right. ringing.
Isn't that the Mark Sail Away fund?
Main Street
I
America.
can't remember off the top of my head, but I will find out.
Okay,
and
sure.
Send it to all of you.
Okay.
It's not something that, it's either something we do annually and I can't remember, or it's like a one-time thing, but I will send it out to all of you.
Okay.
after the meeting.
All right. Thank you.
It's not some form of insurance, right? MSA Group is insurance.
Oh, I think it might, yeah, I think that might be actually. I'm pretty sure that's the insurance payment. Marshall, I think that's Marshall and Sterling.
Marshall Sterling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agency, yeah.
And that's the annual one that we do.
Okay.
And then
All right,
the tree, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Oh, the bill for the tree, tree saver, what was it called again?
Save a tree.
Save a tree. Was that for half of it, or that wasn't the full amount, was it?
That was just for the stump grinding. So they
Oh, the
charged,
grinding,
yeah,
okay.
they charged different amounts. So when they came and did the tree, they charged for the tree, and then that was for the stump grinding.
Got it.
All right. So no further questions. I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills for December 20th and January 6th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And I might as well wrap up my financial report. Elizabeth got COVID. I'm under quarantine. Most of my files are at work. So looking at the minutes, there's nothing to follow up on. And come the February meeting, I'll be doing my annual review. So that'll pretty much cover me for the financial report.
I hope she feels better.
She's there. We should be out of quarantine Thursday. It should be back to normal, which will be nice.
And before I'm about to leave, so I was going to say about, I saw the roofing estimates. I'm going to follow up with you on that.
Okay.
There's some clarifications needed because it's a big discrepancy and they don't really nail down the whole scope.
Okay.
So I can go over that with you and then go back to them for clarifications. So.
It didn't sound like it was ready for voting.
No, it's definitely not ready for voting on. I would never sign one of those contracts. It leaves too much open-ended in the contractor leeway, I'll call it, in terms of quality control.
Well,
Thanks, Michael.
So yeah, I'll put together a little thing to have them, both companies, respond to my questions.
Okay.
But they should be roofing right now anyway. We typically don't like roofing in January and February.
Yeah.
well, thanks, Michael.
All right, I'll see you guys.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Yep, bye.
Bye, Michael.
So we're gonna just backtrack a little bit. For just a couple of things I wanted to say, I had sent around a message about Nikki leaving the board, leaving us. And I just wanted to, for the record, just, let share that I really appreciated her service and her dedication and expertise, and she will be missed on the board. And as Carrie had mentioned in her email, we now have this vacancy that we can fill. So if anybody has any thoughts on a potential board member who could fill the rest of her term, let Carrie know. That would be great.
I do have one person in mind. He also works at the Millbrook School. He and his wife moved here recently, and they live right here in our neighborhood. So I asked him if he would have any interest. His name is Jeff Zivolansky, and he's the assistant communications director at Millbrook School. But certainly if anybody has anybody else, it's a one-year term that can start now through February of 23.
Okay. And then I just wanted to quickly remind everybody, next month, our February meeting is February 15th. And that's our annual meeting where we elect our officers and any trustees whose terms are up for and are able to be re-upped for another term. So that's next month. I'm also going to be reaching out to everybody individually just to double check that you're on the committees that you want to be on. And I have some thoughts about kind of reinvigorating our committee structure going forward. So we'll talk about that at next month's meeting. And that was what I had to mention. So Courtney, I will pass the floor to you.
All right, so more COVID updates. We've had some staff members who have tested positive, other people have been exposed. So the first couple of weeks of the year have been a lot of people being out sick or out for precautionary reasons, but we're managing. There have been a lot of libraries, not a lot, but at least 3 that I know of that have been closed because of staffing shortages, and we're really lucky where we're not there yet, and hopefully we won't get there at all. So but we had 2 people call out today, and it just takes a little bit more restructuring, but we get through it. For building updates, Michael already mentioned we got the 2 roofing estimates, but I'll go over this with him further and hopefully have an update at the next meeting. For collection updates, we finished scanning box 1 of the Bennett collection, which feels really good, and we're on to box 2. So slow moving, but we're making progress.
How many boxes are there?
Do you really want to know, Matt? There's at least 48, maybe more, but not all of them have the amount of paperwork that the first one did. So there's a lot more pictures, which is nice. But I think Kristen put some stuff in the display cabinet in the Franklin Avenue entrance to complement the Historical Society's display, and it's really cool what we have. Actually, we have like sweaters and like a cool photograph book and like little turtle mascots, so it's cool. For development and grant updates, so as of January 13th, we raised a little over $34,000 from our fall appeal, which is really nice. People were very generous again this year, which is always appreciated. And of course, we got the $200,000 grant from Dutchess County for our HVAC system, which was very exciting. So that's kind of that update. The Friends canceled their January meeting, but I met with some members on Friday to talk about the Turning Outward report and some programming money that they wanted to give us. So the Friends have agreed to provide $300 a month for adult programs for this year, which is really cool. And Kristen's really excited because it gives us possibility of doing some more smaller programs or like a couple of really big programs that we couldn't really afford with our regular budget. So that was a really generous thing that the Friends did, and it's definitely going to be appreciated. Kristen was very excited when she found out they approved it. So I went over the Mid-Hudson Library System already. That's the retirement plan. So for outreach, our Turning Outward report has been sent out, and I sent it out to town and village officials, the Rotary, and I think I'm going to be speaking at one of the Rotary meetings in February. about it. I sent it to the Thorn Building Committee, the school superintendent, Kira at the bookstore, the Millbrook Arts Group, like everybody that I could think of. I tried to send it to try and get it out to as many people as possible. And I heard back actually from Charlie Purse, who's on the Thorn Building Committee. He called me to thank me for sending him the report, and he said he was going to send it to his fellow committee members, which was really cool. And it was just nice to talk to him a little bit and like reiterate that we're really interested in working with them as a partnership and to complement each other instead of compete with each other. So it was nice to hear his update. He said they're still pretty far away from like actually being able to host programs just because they're still raising money. They need to hire staff and things like that. But he was definitely appreciative of the report, which was nice.
Could the report also go to to Dutchess County or
Yeah.
to
I
maybe
don't know
the
how
Millington
interesting
Times?
they would find it, but it can't hurt.
I don't know, just to show them. I mean, you guys put so much work into that, and it's just really impressive, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I
Maybe
will
just
definitely.
to let a wider group of people know what's going on in Millbrook.
Yeah, and I think Judith from the Millerton News is going to be doing a story on it. So I think what I would like to do as like a follow-up is to have kind of call to action program where we invite people who are interested in going over the report in like a little bit more detail to a program, and then talk about what people want to work on, if they want to work on things to try and address the issues that are brought up. So I'm guessing that'll probably be in February though, because COVID numbers and everything. So that's kind of like the next step that I'm thinking of.
I like that idea, Courtney, and maybe that would bring some people who weren't able to or didn't know about the whole process at the time it was happening to then be able to add their voices as well to get more
Yeah.
involvement.
That's what
So
I'm
that sounds like a
hoping.
good idea. Did you have any other feedback from anyone that or
Gary from the town said thank you. So he saw it. Tim from the village emailed me, and he was actually he was like, there's a lot of things that it's kind of like a fine line between what people want and they don't want, and finding that balance is going to be difficult in some ways. But he was wondering what the next steps were. So I sent him our strategic plan, and I said, this is what the library is doing as an organization and what we feel we can do with our resources. And I told him that I'd like to do a program to try and get people to not just talk about things and actually start thinking about taking action. Because it's great to talk about things, but if stuff doesn't actually happen, it doesn't really matter, you know. So so I haven't heard back. I emailed him back today, so we'll see what he says.
that sounds good.
Right on.
So just for another thing for outreach, Kristen has been going to the fountains to provide residents with one-on-one digital literacy training. When I went there a few months ago, it was really clear to me that they had a lot of questions about Overdrive and Libby and digital magazines, and I didn't really have the time when I was there to go in depth with things. It wasn't like that type of thing, but Kristen reached out, and she's been going, I think every other week to help residents out one-on-one, so they can sign up for an appointment, and she goes over their device with them and shows them how to access what they want. So that's kind of been on pause this month because of COVID too, but I think we're hoping to pick it back up in February. So for patron concerns, we've had a lot of issues with teens in the library over the past 2 weeks. The first week of the year, we had 3 separate incidents. We had a group of 3 girls come down and steal our bathroom sign off the wall, which caused damage to the wall, and they stole it, so I need a new sign. That's been resolved. I sent an email to their parent or guardian and said basically I'd like reimbursement. It was a little over $80, so it wasn't anything crazy. And I banned the teens for 3 months because this wasn't their first incident of poor behavior and talking back to staff. And I honestly don't have the bandwidth to deal with that right now. So they came in and paid for it and were apologetic and seemed a little embarrassed, and hopefully that'll kind of nip that in the bud. We've had an issue with 2 boys coming in who are just, they're not vandalizing anything really. They're coming in and turning off the lights. We caught them watching inappropriate content on the computers. They did make a mess with paper towels in the bathroom last Friday. So I'm working on trying to get their parents' contact information. I do have their names at least now, but and then we had another incident that week, the first week, where 2 girls came in and wrote a bunch of lovely things on our bathroom mirror and soap, which thankfully it came off easy. But after the 3 incidents in 1 week, when I had 2 people out, I was very done with the whole situation. And I reached out to the Village of Millbrook Police to see if they'd be willing to come walk through the building, like around the time when the teens get out of school, because that's when we're having these issues. So I haven't heard back from them yet, actually, which I'm going to follow up with them because it's been a few days. But I think we did put in new measures for teens to access the teen room downstairs too. They have to have a library card, so that way I have like verified patron information and I can contact their parents if I have to. I don't like doing this. It's not what I would like our teen experience to be right now, but I just don't have the bandwidth to deal with these incidents, especially on top of COVID right now. So things have kind of calmed down after that first week. We did have the 2 teen boys come in, like I said, last Friday and make a mess with the paper towels, but nothing's been stolen or really damaged for at least 2 weeks. So that's a plus. So I'm hoping that these measures will kind of calm things down. I understand that the teens are going through a hard time with the pandemic. I cannot imagine being a teenager right now. I don't think I would handle it really well, honestly. So I try to cut them some slack and be understanding, but when it comes to vandalism and theft, like I have to put my foot down. So not a fun update, but an update. Are there any questions about that?
Yeah, so which time during the week do you want me to walk through with one of my old ladies?
I was gonna say, I want names, and I'm gonna go up on my lunch break to see who these people are.
Yeah, there's we did have a sign-in sheet that just had like names and like parent phone numbers, and I realized very quickly they lie like a rug. So I was just we moved to requiring library cards. So
Fair enough.
like I said, I think it has relatively calmed down. So I was wondering if there was like a social media, like a TikTok challenge or something where it's like vandalize the library, but no, I couldn't find anything. I Googled it. So if there is something like that, it's underground right now. But yeah.
I will say, I think that kind of thing is going on a lot in schools. Both of my sons go to Lord's, and their school has completely banned phones. They're not allowed to even take them out of their bags. They're not even allowed to use them after school inside the building. And there was a couple of different TikTok things going on. Some different pages coming up with stuff just like that, shenanigans.
Yeah, that's, I understand, like they've been through a lot and need to blow off steam, but not by vandalizing the building. So I'll keep you updated if anything else happens. Hopefully I won't have to talk about this again, which would be nice. For personnel, I just have a just like an informational update. The Dutchess County directors are meeting to confirm the employee assistance program on the 20th. So we're going to do a group buy because it's a little bit cheaper, and then once that goes into effect, we'll have that program running, which will be cool. For programming, we've moved our programming to either virtual or take-home kits for January and basically the first 2 weeks of February too, just because of COVID numbers and the potential for staff shortages. Like I said, covering is working right now, but if we did in-person programs and like Abby, Kristen, or Risa was out, it would get kind of tricky. So we're just kind of not coasting really, but we're just not doing the in-person stuff for a while. Overall, the response to this decision has been positive, and presenters haven't been mad about it. They've actually felt more comfortable, which is good. And we were able to move a lot of things to virtual or take-home kits, which is great. So also the AWE, the 5 tablets that we ordered came in. They're loaded up with early literacy software, and I'm planning on taking out the computers in the kids section and putting the tablets down there. I ordered a tablet stand to see if I like it, and it came in today. So tomorrow I'm going to try and put it together and feel out that area. I'm thinking of ordering cool seating for down there too, to kind of, I don't know, freshen it up a little bit, make us seem like the cool place to be. So, but all the tablets came and they worked, which is nice. And for sustainability, hopefully we're going to be meeting again in the beginning of February. I need to schedule that, but things have been crazy, so we're doing the best we can. And that's all I have.
Well, I just want to thank you, Courtney, and all your staff for your continued flexibility and creativity around the programming and having to, you know, on the fly switch gears. And it's not easy, but I think you guys are doing a great job with, you know, in the situation that we're currently in, continue to be in at the moment. So
thank you. I'm really glad. I've said it once, I'll say it so many more times, that like we have such a good team here, because when I told our programming team, they were like, okay, and they adapted very quickly. So
that's good. Excellent. Any questions or any other points for discussion for Courtney? Okay, I think we've gone through everything. Did I miss anything? Is there any other business or any other questions or comments that we have? Just again, like I said earlier, our next meeting, February 15th. And I'm assuming we'll still be on Zoom. We'll see what happens, but I imagine that we'll still be doing this on Zoom.
Okay.
And so unless there's something that someone else wants to bring up or discuss, I would make a motion to adjourn our meeting for the evening.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right, guys, take care, be well, and we'll see you soon.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
All right, bye. Thanks.